it's good to see you. Hopefully, we have a good connection. I mean, I was heartbroken just watching Blaine's piece about what's going on in New Orleans. There's such a need. They need hospital equipment. They need all kinds of stuff. And all of a sudden, on my Twitter feed yesterday, I looked and it said $5 million in Drew Brees, and I said, "Oh, he came through again." Why did you decide to do that?
Well, just like you said, there are so many people in need right now, and obviously the state of Louisiana thrives on small businesses, and we're a hospitality state, and so many people have been affected by this around the country, but especially in New Orleans. And so when Brittany and I think about one of New Orleans just or people's greatest or just basic needs, that is to make sure that they and their family are fed and that they can continue to sustain. And so that was where we wanted to start, and obviously there's a lot more work that's going to need to be done, and we'll evaluate that as we go along, but certainly we want to help.
I mean, I think, Drew, a lot of people don't know the need for food in New Orleans. I mean, the numbers have always been staggering to me, but 1 in 6 Louisiana households struggle to put food on the table. 1 in 4 seniors are hungry. 1 in 4 children. I mean, if there ever was a need, this is it. You came to New Orleans post-Katrina, and back then I thought that was the worst thing that could have happened to our state. How do you think this compares in your mind?
Well, this is a devastating thing for a lot of people, but especially for the state of Louisiana. Like I said, so many people are involved in the hospitality and restaurant industry, and just involved in a small business in some way or another. And so obviously those have been some of the ones that are most hardest hit. And even with the stimulus package that will hopefully get passed today, that's probably going to take a while before people start to see the benefits of that. So, how do they sustain? How do they survive? And that's where we all have to come together and help one another and make sure that we get through this together.
You're not the mayor of New Orleans, but you're pretty daggone close. So if you were saying something to the folks of New Orleans who are probably watching you this morning, what would you say to them?
I'd say hang in there and maintain hope. And obviously we've been through a lot of tough times together, whether it's hurricanes, oil spills, floods. And this is just another one of those bits of adversity that we're going to come out better on the other side. But we've got to stick together right now, and obviously it may get a little bit worse before it gets better, but at the end of the day, we'll become better because of it.
Can we talk football for just a second? Your coach
Sure.
and your friend, Sean Payton, was diagnosed with the coronavirus. How's he doing? Have you spoken to him?
I did speak with him right when he was diagnosed, and then actually a few days ago when he got cleared. So he's maintaining good spirits. He's an extremely positive attitude. I think he also recognizes just the danger in this, and I know that he's encouraged everyone to follow the orders and the guidelines that have been put in place, and don't put yourself or your family in any type of risk, and let's get over the hump with this thing and move on to bigger and better times.
Yeah, you think we'll have a football season? What do you think?
Well, if I was speaking for the American people,
yeah.
I would say that one of the toughest things about this, honestly, is that typically sports brings America through tough situations, right? It's something that people can look forward to. It brings them hope. It brings them together. And yet, right now, you can't even turn on the TV and tune into any type of sport, right? That's what's unprecedented about this as well. So, I think the American people would say, yes, we want football back as soon as possible, so that we can start gathering together and have something to look forward to.
Now, I know you got a lot of fans, but I was struck by something I saw on Twitter from KHOU in Houston. They posted this. Okay, Houston, you have permission to root for a Saints player just this one time. Thank you, Drew.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
I am a Texas boy, so I do still have my Texas roots from Austin.
Yeah. Just lastly, how are Brittany? You got 4 kids under 11. You guys are in San Diego for now. I know your heart's in New Orleans, but how are you all handling being together like this?
It's the new normal for a lot of families, right? We were all thrust into this situation where all of a sudden we're getting lessons plans, and it's like we're going back to elementary school, trying to figure out how to teach our kids. I mean, I can't tell you how much time I spent with my 5th grade son yesterday on his math. Like, thinking to myself, if I had to take this test right now, I would be in trouble. So it has its frustrating moments. I think every parent would agree with me, and yet I think if there is one positive from this at this point is that so many families are coming thrust together, and maybe through what is normally a crazy hectic life where you're going all kinds of different directions, especially, you know, parents with kids involved in tons of activities. All of a sudden now you're just together all the time and reconnecting. And I hope that this is something that when we come out of this, we say, you know what, it really brought families together.
I think you're right. I also think a lot of things are contagious, including generosity. So our hope is that because, you know, you let us know that you made this big generous donation, I think other people look and say, hey, maybe I can help out too. Drew, we love you.
Love you too.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, a lot more.